We're here at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. It's the 18th of September, 2024. We're attending an anti-Israel protest outside of Day Hall on the main campus. I asked a few people why the protest is being held today, and not on what might be a more relevant date like October 7th, which would be the one-year anniversary of Hamas starting this war. The couple of people I spoke to couldn't really give me an answer. They didn't know. The protest was organized by a student group, the Coalition for Mutual Liberation, or CML, which describes itself as a broad coalition of solidarity. Not sure solidarity with what, but we can guess. They seem to organize protests for a living. They organized last year's pro-Hamas encampment on the Cornell campus, for example. The organizer of today's protest was someone named Nick. I asked him whether he objected if I spoke to individuals in the crowd for their thoughts. He said he'd ask around. Otherwise, I wasn't hampered in filming the protest itself.
From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea!
It looked like a small crowd, less than 100 by my rough estimate. Among the crowd was Russell Rickford, the professor who last year called the Hamas invasion exhilarating, in quotes. He took a voluntary leave of absence then, but he's back teaching again. The protest got underway with the distribution of noisemakers, things like pots, spoons, drums, those sorts of things.
We have a bunch of noisemakers up here, pots, pans, drums, of sorts. Please come grab them right now. Somewhere. Also, we encourage you to wear masks. We have folks running around taking pictures of things like that. Just for your own safety, as long as you're comfortable with it.
The warm-up act was someone teaching the crowd a new chant. He was very proud of it. But it wasn't hard for the crowd to learn this new chant.
We won't work, we will fight.
We will work, we will fight.
No more jobs in genocide.
No more jobs in genocide.
We won't work, we will fight.
We will work, we will fight.
No more jobs in genocide.
No more jobs in genocide.
All right.
Then there was a speaker who wowed the crowd with the usual agit-pop. Again, entirely predictable.
We are now on day 348 of Israel's relentless campaign. 348 days, and yet the Palestinian resistance stands strong. With figures nearing 200,000 dead, with many more unaccounted for, the Palestinians teach us a lesson in humanity. They refuse to bow down to occupation, they reject dishonor, opting for dignity, and they refuse to be forgotten. We have heard the call of our Palestinian brothers and sisters, and we declare from this campus that the student intifada continues. We are here to remind this institution that bows to capital, where profit reigns over people, that we will not be silenced, and we are here to say that we will not stop. As we approach 1 year of Israel's genocidal assault, their objective remains clear: the extermination of the Palestinian people. Netanyahu, in his hypocrisy, claims to work tirelessly for the hostages' return, while Zionists will shout at you, if only Hamas would surrender, this war will end. But what they fail to mention is the greatest release of hostages took place during a ceasefire. And still, what they fail to mention that this genocide has nothing to do with the hostages or Israel's security, but everything blood. We hear Kamala Harris speak of working tirelessly for a ceasefire. But what does this look like in practice? As recent as August, the US Congress passed a bill sending $26 billion to replenish Israel's weapons. Biden has approved over 100 arms transfers to Israel since October, amounting to a shipment every 1.5 days. Let's put this in context. In just the first 6 weeks after last year in October, Israel dropped 22,000 bombs in Gaza. Bombs provided by the United States. Over 70,000 tons of explosives have been dropped, more than the total combination of World War II bombings of London, Dresden, and Hamburg combined. This is what the US calls working for peace. Make no mistake, this war is the United States' war against the Palestinian people. Without the United States' support, this genocide would end today. This is not just Israel's war, but despite the destruction, we will not despair. We must shed our fear, stand proud, and know that we are on the right side of history. We have chosen to stand with the oppressed, and we side with the wretched of the earth, knowing that history has already guaranteed victory to the Palestinians. From the river to the sea! Free, free! Free, free!
A second speaker came up, and finally the reason for the protest was clear to me. She led a chant against Boeing.
Fuck you, Boeing! Fuck you, Boeing!
What? Well, it turns out today was a job recruitment fair for Cornell students, and Boeing was one of the recruiters. Another company, L3Harris, was also there. Both companies apparently supply advanced weaponry to Israel, and the protests wanted to disrupt them. After a few more chants, the crowd went on the march to Cornell's Statler Hotel, where the recruitment fair was being held.
If you are not comfortable with doing this, as you can see, there's heavy police presence. If you're not comfortable with this, please disperse in groups and be safe. Let's enter, please. Thank you.
At that point, protesters forced their way into the hotel. This is where the protest became illegal, because they were trespassing. The Cornell Police didn't stop them, but they followed the marchers into the hotel and up the stairs to the ballroom. The organizers of the march stayed outside. They weren't going to be the ones getting arrested for trespassing. Statler staff wouldn't speak to us on camera, but they did give us permission to film inside the hotel. So we went up the stairs just in time to meet the protesters coming back down. herded along by an escort of several Cornell police officers behind them. I'm Scott Turner.
Hi, Scott. Tony Bellamy, Chief of Police.
I'm with the National Association of Scholars. We're down here to document this protest.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
We asked the Cornell Police whether they'd be willing to speak to us on camera. They declined, saying they were kind of busy.
Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
And that was my day at the Coalition for Mutual Liberation March at Cornell University on the 18th of September, 2024.